Okay, I'll stop gesticulating. I'm just really enthusiastic about this country, y'all.
That's right. You're all waiting for me.
Yep. The man with the sound.
Welcome to the CouncilCast. This is episode 321, being recorded on January 21st, 2025. The council is now in session, and as with every week, we will make arbitrary decisions about topics on science, technology, and random shit.
Random shit?
Terrifying.
With a little background and absolutely no expertise. All CouncilCast decisions are final and have no bearing on anything whatsoever.
I just always enjoy the little ting echoes as he's turning the echo off. I can't tell if he's doing that while turning it off, or if he's just like caressing the microphone as if to like make us all feel weird.
Every week, Brian gets confused that we're doing an ASMR podcast.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It might be a little confusing because he doesn't have any cancer, but it turns out that.
How do you
Great
know?
segue.
What if he did?
Well, it wouldn't matter. That was the worst segue ever. Keep going, Blaine.
Wow.
I'd still be laughing. That's good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Apparently, some new studies have come out that shows that drinking alcohol may or may not be good for you, or it may be excellent for you.
I like how wishy-washy this whole article is.
Yep.
I honestly didn't know that was the article. I'm sitting here taking a drink of fucking 60% alcohol.
Well, so the
gonna
article
live or
basically it talks about there's been a renewed push on alcohol causing cancer, and so there's some studies that have basically been like, oh yeah, hey look, any amount of alcohol that you drink is going to cause cancer, just like just about everything else you do in the rest of your life. But also drinking alcohol might actually be good for you all at the same time.
I don't know what to believe in anymore. This is harder than trying to decide whether I should put money into my traditional or my Roth IRA.
I would say that this article is accurate, that alcohol may or may not be a problem.
But by God, if you drink enough of it, you won't give a shit.
Yeah, so apparently they said that there's definitely alcohol gives you cancer. However, if you drink alcohol, you also live longer.
Tortured.
So explain.
Horrific life, but longer.
So yeah, long story short,
I feel like I should pour a bigger
doing
glass?
whatever you want. I don't have the right answer for you, but
it sounds like neither do they.
No, they don't. It's so funny because I was just reading stuff about this the other day, like the what are the sugar replacement, like aspartame or aspartame.
I don't know how to say that.
Aspartame.
It's aspartame.
That stuff, like
Thanks.
They're like it has been linked to cancer, and then I go look up like what the research is saying about that, and they're like, yeah, well, it's kind of linked to cancer, but also so is, but it's not. It's like correlation, not causation. is where it's at right now. And so they're like, also sugar has been linked to causing cancer. So if I drink a regular Coke, I could get cancer, or if I drink a Coke Zero, I could get cancer. What about just like not drinking that?
It turns out existing can cause cancer. Jesus fucking Christ, Brian. Yeah, fucking mad at this topic. They just removed red number whatever the fuck. Was it red number 5? Red dye number 5?
We have that. That's our next topic.
Son of a bitch. The two are they're connected. Go.
Yeah, so they did ban red number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Red 5. Johnny 5.
But the funniest thing is I was just eating some food and I noticed on my sriracha bottle that there's a Prop 65 warning.
Ooh.
And I'm like, oh, okay, so we are.
It's extra spicy.
Yeah, but do you know what they're going to replace that with?
The other red?
No, it's a
There's
bug.
There's one red. Oh, the beetles?
Yep, it's a beetle. They
crush it up.
The ladybugs, all the Asian beetles in my house. Sweet.
No. No.
Well, it's either red dye number 40 or crushed
Can
beetles.
I sell it to him?
So, from what I read, and by read I mean heard on one of the Planet Money or Bloomberg podcasts, I don't really remember. They were talking about this, and the reason the red dye was removed was because it was shown to cause cancer in lab rats. But it's classic case of massive quantities are what cause it. But apparently it still has to get removed because there's rules around if it's like in the food supply, like it just has to be shown. It doesn't matter like how much for the most part. That's what I took away from it, and that's how they kind of described it. It's that it happens at all and it is now gone. And like they were joking about how like there are just like not many food dyes left in general. So like we're just not gonna have colorful foods. And that seems probably okay, to be honest.
I won't eat food unless it has color in it. So
but yes, you are right. I mean, this article. I'm going to move on from cancer and alcohol to
these two are it's similar. It's like same reason kind of deal.
But yeah, you are right. They basically said the studies all show that it causes cancer in rats or mice, but basically the levels that you'd have to ingest as a human is just unrealistic. You won't get cancer from it.
But so maybe they should just get all that red dye number 3, and they should get that red dye number 3 and just put it in the sewers of New York and kill all the rats.
Yeah. So, but the FDA apparently has
save that for later.
Clause.
We have a section for that, Brian. Segment.
But you're right. The FDA has a clause that specifically says if it has shown to cause cancer in either animals or people, it has to be banned. So that's kind of, even though it won't happen in humans.
Right. I didn't even, from what I remember, it didn't even really matter the quantity. Because like if you look this stuff up, it's like, oh, how much of the thing do I have to do before I get cancer? And it turns out you have to drink 40s of Mountain Dew a day to like be like at risk, right? And that isn't to say that we shouldn't worry about the thing, but like when you actually go look at the quantities required in a lot of these things, it's something absurd.
Yeah.
And this is one of those cases.
So they did say the other kind of leading factor to help them proceed with the ban is that apparently there's been a link between Red 3 and hyperactivity in children.
Yeah, they said that too.
So
apparently that's not just a Red 3 thing. Apparently that is a food dye thing in general.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not really sure how food dye is made, but I just assume that it's just like concentrated sugar. It's like alcohol bitters, but like for candy.
I have no idea how this shit
I think
works.
It's way more unhealthy.
Never
than just
stopped us from talking from a place of experience before.
I think that it makes them. I mean, the reason why it causes problems is some serious chemicals. Yeah,
and
that's it.
And they give it to kids.
It's I believe it's crack cocaine and paint. And glue.
Lead paint.
Oh my God, this stuff's getting worse by the sentence.
Glue and
it tastes like paint,
arsenic,
and wood.
So, that's why all things that are colorful taste amazing.
Martha, where are my GD garden lanterns?
I mean, this article does say that red dyes are made from petroleum.
I have
products,
just not enough to
petroleum from oil. Okay,
I guess that's news to me. So,
isn't everything made from oil?
Pretty much at this point.
Did you say not enough to quote it?
Yeah.
It has one of the best farting scenes of all time.
Well, yeah, okay, I'll quote the farting scene.
When fucking hey, that's pretty good. What's the guy's name that I can never remember? I'll tell you. The guy, I'll tell you. The guy that's in Back to the Future, what's his name? Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, he's in that movie. He plays the like vagrant, like homeless wanderer guy in
does.
Dennis the Menace. And he's like the scary guy. He's like, "What you got there, sport?" And he's like, apple." And he stabs it and takes it and cuts off a piece and eats it. But anyway, there's a scene later in the movie where Dennis has got him fucking tied up. And he's feeding him. Why is he feeding him the beans? Does anybody remember why he's feeding him the huge
Because it was the 90s. and they were like, "Hey, kids think farts are funny.
Yeah.
What if we just do a fart
think they're
joke
funny
scene?
too? By the way,
there's no reason why he did it. He just did it so that they could justify a big long fart. I'm serious. That's it. Little known fact.
He's sitting there eating the huge pot of beans, and he's like, "You got to eat your beans, Mister." And he doesn't want to. He's like, "I'm not eating them or whatever." And eventually, he says something like, "You little worm." And then he farts, but he's aimed at the fire, and the fire goes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but did you know that they were going to fake all that, and then Christopher Lloyd actually ate the beans and farted
because he's a method actor?
Yeah, because he's a method actor.
He's so method. He ate all the beans right beforehand. Bush's stock went up.
Saved enough money on the movie so that they could actually release it on time.
Christopher Lloyd's a legend.
Amazing.
The kid had to take a shower afterward.
Can you imagine all of our food, all of our candy without color? Just like there'd be one Skittle, one M&M.
I think if I remember correctly, it's because there's like
gray Skittle.
What is he? Oh, I think they're just like making food, and he drops the keys like to the handcuffs or something in the vat, and he's like, "Well, I guess you're gonna have to eat them all." And then like they get all the way done, and he's like spooning the thing, and there's like no keys in it, and that's when he's like, "There's no keys, you must have ate them." And Christopher Lloyd's just like, "You little worm." Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You've seen it.
Blazing Saddles has the best fart scene.
Does it?
Time, don't you think? Yeah.
I need to see that movie too.
Oh, well, that would be a good comedy to keep too.
I told you the only thing I've seen from that movie, and it got me good, was when they arrive at the little arm in the middle of the desert. It's just like, obviously the joke is you could just go around, but it's so goddamn funny to me for some fucking reason, because that's just absolutely absurd. And then it gets over the top when the one guy is like, "Somebody's got to go back and get a shitload of dimes." Like, that's a perfect line.
You know, that movie is funny, but you just can't quote it anywhere ever.
Why? Because the rest of it's N-words?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it's the black sheriff comes to town, right? Like, that's the premise.
Yeah.
That's what I've gathered from the clips I've seen.
Oh, man.
Amazing. I mean, I can quote that part of it.
I'm going to give a thumbs up for everything giving us cancer there. So both Red 3 and maybe Alcohol or Not.
What is that?
Yeah. I think that's great.
It's from The Office. They're all sitting around the table, and Dwight's like, "Michael is gone, so I have to record this so that I can report any tomfoolery that happens." And then Jim's like, "Oh, Dwight, why are you taking your clothes off? Stop doing that." And he's like, "I'm not taking my clothes off. Let the record show that I'm not taking my clothes off. Let the record show that now Dwight is holding a butter knife to Phyllis's neck. Dwight, leave Phyllis alone." And then Andy's like, I'm gonna pile in on this. And all of a sudden he's like, "I'm cutting off Phyllis's head with a chainsaw."
Oh my God.
And everyone's like, "What?" And then he just goes, out of like, everyone's sitting in silence, and he goes, "Ring ding 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 ding." I'm sorry. He goes, "Ring ding 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 ding." There it is.
There you go.
Perfect.
Man, I did not remember that scene at all.
That's awesome.
Well, somebody's head might roll over at the EU, because if you remember a number of years ago when we had to update our privacy policy for the GDPR over in the EU, big deal. Turns out that the EU, in fact, violated its own policy and is now fining itself.
Hey.
Well, I did look at this.
The real fake doors. Check this out. Won't open. Won't open.
This is the exact Spider-Man point meme, or it's the one where the boxer punches himself in the face trying to punch somebody else.
I did scan the article, and I was curious as to who they paid their fine that they fined themselves.
Probably two.
They pay themselves. What? They just move it from column A to column B. I mean, what did they do?
Nothing.
They should have given it back to all of the people in. I mean, those 30-cent settlement checks that you get. They should have given it back to everyone who signed the dumb agreement.
Who fucked up?
Okay, so here's what happened. It is apparently it happened when a German citizen used the sign in with Facebook option when registering for a conference through the European Commission webpage. When the user clicked that button, data about their device, browser, and IP history were transferred to Amazon Web Service and eventually found its way to servers operated by Facebook's parent company, Meta, in the U.S.
Yes.
The court determined that this transfer of data took place without proper safeguards, and the EU was fined £400. The 400 euros. Sorry, the 400 euros got paid directly to the person who brought the case forward.
Oh,
400 euros.
400 euros.
Okay. Well, when you go look at GDPR regulation, they dramatically underserved themselves because GDPR fines.
The fines have been massive.
So fines for Meta got a $1.3 billion fine for failing to sufficiently protect the data of European users, and previously they had a $417 million fine for privacy of underage users on
companies
Instagram.
that want to do business in Europe take this shit very seriously. Like
20 million euros is what they say, or up to 4% of the total global turnover, whichever is higher. And so in this case, they said 400 euro.
I don't know how they arrived at 400 at that particular scenario, but every company
probably because the guy was like, I won't settle for less than 400.
I don't know.
I mean, there's.
Like,
I'm gonna bet that there's probably like a minimum per user or per like case fee, and so like the big ones for the company is like every.
That is not how it's listed in the language. No? I've gone over it several times for what this is what I'm saying. Like, it's frustrating that they would post in their literature 20 million is the base, or 4% of total global turnover preceding the fiscal year, whichever is higher.
I'm also going to tell you that lawyers at companies that are worth $1 trillion don't know how this works, because I've interacted.
Apparently, neither does.
Nobody knows how this works. It's all up. It's because the EU, all the different enforcement jurisdictions don't fucking know. Like, they want to enforce it in different ways. I was just looking this up because we were dealing with our first right to be forgotten request, and like we were like really trying to like do right by the rule, and then it came into question. Well, what about backups, like database backups? Like, you do it for disaster recovery reasons. Do you have to like those types of backups? You can't just reach in and pluck out the rows you need and then it be done. I can concoct some engineering ways to make that happen, but none of these systems just do it by default. Like, you'd have to do something unholy, like stand it up and like then reach in and delete what you want and then re-back it up and like all that shit. All that's non-standard. Like, and I was like, I was looking this up and nobody knows. Like, it seems to be that backups are just understood that your data is going to exist in a backup and like, fuck you. But then like, you can find other stuff that's like, nope, you got to deal with it. Luckily, like we keep our backups for only a certain amount of time that is like within the threshold of the request's adherence. So if you don't keep your backups basically longer than 30 calendar days, it's not going to be a problem. But I just pointing out that nobody fucking knows, dude. Like, it's like the stuff that has to be tried and like decided.
And then they go, we said 20 million, but now that we're the ones getting the fine slapped, maybe we just say 400.
Because it's not
400 million euros. No, just 400 euros.
It's not always concrete either. Because the law, like the if you read the text, like some of it reads, it's like, you can keep it if it's for a legitimate business purpose and you still need it to operate. Like, sort of. Like, but like most people take a stance of like, if somebody sends the email that's like, I wish to be forgotten in your system, please delete everything about me, we take it seriously. And like, we do everything we can to find out where that is. And the more mature you are, the better you are at it, and you already know all the nooks and crannies of where they could be. But you've got data subprocessors that shit gets sent off to, like, sometimes, depending on how far they've made it into the system. Like, logging systems are notorious for this shit.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Sounds terrible.
It does. It is terrible.
Yeah, logging corporations, man.
Yeah, the trees, man.
Well, I say thumbs down for the stupid fine that they actually paid the person. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I have a thumbs up for at least finding something to be fined for. So,
I like that they find themselves. It's great.
Yeah.
Hey, thumbs down.
Balls.
For the whole thing?
Just thumbs down. I don't know.
Just thumbs down.
Hot in this fucking room.
Well, something that it isn't cost just $400 is the Pope's new Pope-mobile, which is going electric. They're going to have the first electric Pope-mobile coming in from Mercedes-Benz.
Which I like that he was in a manual wheelchair sitting in front of his electric Pope-mobile. They couldn't get him an electric wheelchair?
I couldn't even tell you who the Pope is right now.
I thought it was, Pope Francis, I think, yeah.
That's what she said.
Hasn't he been Pope for a while now? I didn't even know he was in a
know.
wheelchair, to be honest. They're all just...
How long are you allowed to be Pope? Is there like a...
Until you die.
Until you die.
Yep.
Did you know that in history they exhumed a pope, put him on fucking trial, like his corpse was on trial?
Yeah,
that sounds.
I didn't know that, but that
actually.
sounds legit.
It's dope as hell, is what it is.
What did the Pope do?
I don't remember what they fucking put him on trial for. I mean, it's probably the same thing it always is. A bunch of diddling. Let's see.
Diddling.
Pope.
The Cadaver Synod is the...
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
They call it.
Yep.
He was exhumed and brought to the papal court for judgment. He was accused of perjury. And
fucking ridiculous.
To the papacy illegally and illegally presiding over more than one diocese at the same time. I mean, I can't believe this guy would have done that.
Can you imagine exhuming a corpse and putting it on trial? Like, why was that necessary?
Why don't we do it more often? That's what
you know. Actually, I think I might
guilty, and his papacy was declared null retroactively.
All of that could have been done without him sitting there.
No. Clearly, he couldn't have stood trial because he was dead and he couldn't stand at all.
I mean, this is the Catholic Church we're talking about, so.
There it is.
This isn't like the U.S. justice system where if you die, like basically everything just dies with you.
That'd be interesting.
This was also in the year 897. So.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes it better.
I think it'd be better if it was last year. That'd be like
this was 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, they dug up one of the old popes and said, "You were in trouble, buddy." We got you finally.
That wheelchair. They're just Weekend at Bernie's and that guy around.
Amazing.
Who's running this place,
dude? I made this joke a long time ago. When Bernie was running for president, I was like, wouldn't it be so fucking funny if he like I want somebody to make the movie where Bernie died, but won the presidency, and then they had to Weekend at Bernie him through the fucking term. And then it gets to the end and they like do their damnedest to not get elected again, but he did such a damn good job that he gets a second fucking term. And they have to make the second movie. The election's right at the end. It's like you won.
He's just
Silas, write the script.
Write the script. Okay, I'm on it.
Actually,
sounds like one I can bang out on a weekend.
I think that would be a funny like alternate history novel, just like comedy, like Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies kind of shit.
Well, I guess I'm gonna give a thumbs up for the Pope going green. I guess.
I don't. He was already green. He was riding around in a manual wheelchair. That shit wasn't fucking fossil fueled.
That's what she said.
I'm not sure I care enough to vote.
What? Okay. Oh, what? You mean right now with the thumbs up, thumb down? I was like, what are you talking about?
I don't really care what the Pope rides around in.
It's like, Brian, wheelchair, that was like a month ago, dude.
No, I care enough about that to vote. I'm just saying.
But the other guy won, Brian.
Context.
And you sound like you're part of the problem.
Context. We're talking about the Pope mobile. I don't really care.
I thought we were talking about my Lord and Savior.
I don't. He He can ride around a golf cart. I mean, I know it's a golf cart, it's a glorified golf cart, but he can ride around a golf cart. I don't care. Sorry.
The Papal cart.
It's a good topic, but I don't care to vote on it.
Well, something that more people are caring about now is a very rare form of writing, and if people can read it, called cursive.
I love this.
I can't believe you fucking put this in there. This was in Discord.
I'm sorry.
I love it.
I love it because, like, topic. What did I say?
Oh, this is a real topic? My bad.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely 100% real. My reaction on Discord was something like, I can do that and help you because, like, get this, I can also fucking write it. And then I think my next comment was, I can't believe I'm going to be the next wind talker.
Yeah.
The National Archives is apparently seeking help from people with a special skill set of being able to actually read.
I literally can't believe this is happening, and I swear to God, they're just like doing it. So no, they're doing it so all our high school teachers that are now like on their deathbeds can have the last laugh because they were all like, "You're gonna need to know this when you go to college." Now they get to laugh at us because the entire U.S. government's like, "We need your help."
But wait, is it a job or are they asking for volunteers?
So they are asking for volunteers to help them classify and or
really hoping for a career shift.
200 years worth of handwritten documents.
I mean, to be fair, have you ever tried to read the cursive some of those motherfuckers wrote 200 years ago? That shit is impossible.
Yeah, you know, like my mom's got her handwriting is, I can't read. And I can read cursive. I don't know what I always have to have my wife read it. Can you read this letter to me from my mom?
My grandpa's handwriting was that way, my late grandfather, and like he would write in a journal every day, and I pulled it, and I was like reading something when I was at his house before he died, and he was sitting there, and I was like, "Grandpa, what the fuck does this say?" And he like, "Hold on," and he like took a look at it, and he just started chuckling. He goes, "I don't have a fucking idea." It was so good.
Oh, that would definitely be me. I definitely would probably have the same issue.
Can't read your own goddamn handwriting.
Yep.
I think there's some comedian that talks about. We could take over today's generation. We would use covert communication by just writing cursive to each other.
It is. It's like wind talkers. I was only half joking. Do they even still learn it in school? Is it something that they teach? Does anybody know?
Clubs.
They don't even teach keyboarding anymore, even though everyone's on a computer.
Silas, like, ask one of your ask one of your class people. Just do a poll. See who knows cursive in class next time.
Okay, I'll ask.
That could be your icebreaker.
But you
break it up. Who can read it and who can write it?
You have to.
And then when they say
in cursive.
Yeah.
Do the poll in cursive.
Whoever can read this.
Yeah. Then really embarrass them when they're like, "Yeah, I can write it." Be like, "Get up here, prove it." For 10 points. 10 extra points.
10 extra points. I love it. That's great.
For an A in the class, come out here and write out this sentence in cursive. Make sure there's a fucking J, a capital J and a capital Y in it, and watch them explode. Or a Z. A Z would be good. Z's are fucking hard if you haven't done one in a while.
I will give you.
There's a bit of a hitch in it. The capitals are difficult.
Yeah.
I do this every once in a while, Silas. I'll sit down and try to do like the alphabet. It's like, do I still remember?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I don't know that I could. A lot in cursive, so I give it a thumbs up for keeping old language alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
This shit's the most important thing to go out of style since all those Native American languages we don't have anymore.
There you go.
It's crazy to me. It's just, you're getting old.
Okay, so here, actually, I'm actually reading the article, and it does talk about it that's still being taught.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Apparently, Common Core standards took out cursive in 2010.
Oh, a long time ago.
But there are still 14 states that require cursive to be taught in school. And in 2023, the state of California passed a law that requires the teaching of cursive or jointed italics from 1st through 6th grade.
I feel like I don't want to sound like an old guy because I am like the one that would make fun of like I never fucking needed it, right? Like it was a lie. You were never going to write in cursive in college. But the best argument for it, despite all of our documents already being digitized and all that shit, except for these apparently, is Like, I could buy the argument of it's important to be able to read this old shit because there's a lot of important shit in it, and you need to be able to get
these
through
Z's are so fun to do.
I can see that.
Forgot how
Z's
much
are
I love
difficult.
cursive.
There's a J in my name, so that's
I'm going to put all my slides in cursive this semester.
But I mean, forever I had to write checks. You wrote that in cursive, the whole thing.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You didn't have.
Yes.
You don't have to. I write mine in block letters. What the fuck are you talking about? If I don't write in all capital block letters, you can't read the motherfucker.
Well, if you didn't write it in cursive, the bank wouldn't accept it.
What? Are you fucking with me right now?
Yes.
Okay. That's not a thing.
I just did all lowercase. I'm really proud of myself.
You got lowercase? Yeah.
Show us.
Prove it. Nice. Oh, you connected them all together too.
Yeah, until I ran out of space.
I mean, a Z. The hard part with Z is that a capital Z is just a bigger, like it's like
version of the lowercase Z.
And for some reason, it's harder.
Well, something that is harder is apparently learning how to use the MRI, and apparently remembering to take your butt plug out before you do that.
Butt plug. Butt plug.
Butt plug.
You've got a butt plug on the soundboard?
Butt plug. Butt plug.
Do you know what that's from?
Silas, I figured you'd have that sound effect.
Do you know what that's from, Silas?
Oh, yeah, I do. Absolutely, okay. I do.
He's on the butt plug.
Yeah, that's a great bit.
Was that some sort of Spock plug or something?
Butt plug?
Yeah, we don't carry it.
That's it.
All right.
Thank you. So good.
This is so bad. This is so bad.
How do you forget?
No, she didn't forget. She thought it was. Woman, it said it was silicone.
Yeah, she got into an MRI. She was. I mean, I guess I just am trying to understand what would possess you to say, like, I'm gonna go have a medical exam today. Let me put my butt plug in first.
That's part of the thrill. It was just there.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
You know, there are people that just walk around all day, right?
Yeah, there are lots of people that walk around all day. What are you trying to say, Matt?
I know nothing about this.
I didn't play chess yesterday. So wait. There was no problem. It's just that it was there.
Oh no, it was.
She thought it was all silicone.
It was not.
Core of it was metal.
Oh no!
And it got ripped out of her, and she ended up in the hospital. I mean,
good thing she was in a hospital. Was she in a hospital, or was she at like a center where they were just doing like?
Which
she was at a center,
did it
and
get
she got taken to a hospital.
Yeah, was it ripped out
the
in
butt or up through?
Yeah, it's very important that we have this information.
It says that there was nothing
because
specific.
One is like she goes back again, and the other one is.
All we know is that she started screaming in pain, and then they took her to the hospital.
Fuck, that's bad.
Yeah.
What happens if I have to get I read it. What happens if I have to get an MRI on my ankle?
Well, I would say do not go there with the butt plug in.
Dude, tell them that you have metal in your leg and do not do that.
But so does that just mean I can't get an MRI on that?
Basically.
No?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Does that mean I can't get an MRI, period?
Well, wait, is it...
As long as your leg's not in it, probably.
What type of metal
it doesn't have to be... It can be pretty far away, and it still, like, zings it in there. Have you ever watched the videos of people taking, like, a screwdriver and getting pretty close and just rips it out of their hand? It's titanium.
I would say you probably... well,
if it was adamantium, I think you might be fine.
God damn it. It's mithril. It's titanium, but it's also really thin. It's like 1 to 2 mils.
I mean, technically, titanium is not magnetic, so you should.
I think maybe that's why they use
the MRI doesn't do the thing where it turns things that aren't normally magnetic into magnetic. I don't know how that shit works.
Did they detect it at the airport?
Magnets, so
yeah.
Matt,
it'll be detected by a metal detector. Yes, I mean,
does the metal detector detect your leg
before you go
detect
into
my
the
leg?
MRI?
Oh no, not the metal detectors. No.
You should probably go through a metal detector before you enter an MRI. Would be my recommendation.
I also really like that we're like making a face at me asking a curious question about the MRI and the metal stuff, and that's why the lady went in there with the butt plug in, because she was afraid to ask about whether or didn't know.
No, I'm not making a face at you.
And like,
I'm
we're
just
literally
curious.
talking about a goddamn thing that spins such a magnetic field that it realigns the electrons in your fucking cells to determine what they are.
Yeah,
Well,
the article says that she's suing the butt plug company because it said it was silicone, but it wasn't. It was metal inside.
Fantastic. I love this.
I'm still trying to figure out why she thought this was a good time to put a butt plug in.
I'm telling you, she just had it in. She didn't wake up in the morning and go, you know what I'm going to do in addition to my MRI? I'm going to put the butt plug in. She probably was like, it's butt plug Thursday, and like
that's what she said.
She just forgot.
She forgot she was getting an MRI. Okay.
Butt plug?
I thought you were going to do the literally everything. There's literally everything in space.
I
gotta watch that video. That guy's so mad trying to find a fucking butt plug.
Butt plug? Spark plugs? Butt plug. Okay, I'll connect you to someone over in automotive.
What does he say?
I'm sorry. What do you need, sir?
Give a thumbs up.
Doesn't somebody say, is that some kind of receptacle or something?
What are you saying? You need spark plugs? Butt plug.
Was that a call-in like morning radio show thing that they're fucking with people?
Yeah, we don't carry it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we don't carry it.
We don't carry it. Thank you. Thank you. Man, what a great early.
And I'm going to move on to our billionaire pitches for the week.
Yeah.
Butt plugs that are actually silicone. And
no. You stole mine. You stole mine.
No.
Oh, man.
You can have it. I don't want it.
No, you got it. It's your
Already
first
yours.
pitch in like a year. So.
Nah, it's not an actual pitch. I retract it.
No. Just like the butt plug was.
Got retracted. Return to sender. God damn it. That's not nice making fun of this poor person's plight.
Well, she survived.
Did they say it was a she in the article?
It is
a she? Oh, okay.
We know it's a she.
All right.
I have a pitch for a billionaire.
Cool.
I would like them to start paying people to read the cursive words.
Just wait. I think all you have to do is wait. The way it's looking right now, give it another 40 years and they'll be like, we'll just be the highest paid people ever trying to like reading this shit for them.
Do you mean these letters?
Yeah.
That's your qualification right there.
I think what got me and what we started talking about a bit in Discord was like, why can't computers do this for them? Like,
yeah.
Do they not, like, out of all the things we've trained computers on, like LLMs and like OCR and all that shit, and its ability to like recognize this stuff, did we just not think to do it on cursive documents?
Correct.
Well, part of the problem probably is that we wouldn't know. People didn't know how to train it because they couldn't read it.
Because the fucking 20-year-olds, the fucking 20-year-old prompt engineers doing this shit. We're like, God damn it! I've been
blast shield down. I can't even see. How am I supposed to fight?
Oh Christ!
Genius.
I have one.
All right.
I'd like a billionaire to make the Pope an all-electric helicopter.
What?
So that he can fly around wherever he wants to go, whenever he wants to go.
It's like a little individual helicopter. Like he sits down in the throne.
It's classified as an ultralight, so the Pope can technically pilot it himself without a pilot's license. Just they make them. There's one called a Mosquito.
Or it could have someone who could use a little remote control to fly him around wherever he needs to go.
Oh my God! Make it like a Twitch thing. Twitch flies the Pope.
It could be kind of like a single person drone, like a Pope drone.
Up. They all only go up. Go to heaven, Pope. Up.
Pope.
I want it to have this design. I want it to look like one of these.
Like what?
I want it to look like one of these guys. I want it to have blue and yellow.
Is that a halberd?
Red. And
those halberds?
They are.
Those are
it's
the,
a Getty.
It
says.
Those are the Pope guards, aren't they?
The Pope
looks
police.
Like the Vatican guards.
Pope police.
Yes.
The Vatican guards.
The Pope police. love me some alliteration. What is this? A Dr. Seuss book?
Police.
The Pope police.
It's the Pontifical Swiss Guard.
P. What begins with P?
Oh, the helicopter for the Pope. Well, there's got to be something in there about hell and cop and Pope. Something. I don't know of a good name, but I think he should have a single seat.
I like the
drone.
I like the
Pope
remote
machine.
control option with Twitch flies the Pope. So I think that sounds...
Twitch flies the Pope.
I think that's
you just know the fucking Twitch chat for that would be unhinged.
Oh my!
It's like poggers, all poggers all the way down. Bunch of capping.
Amazing.
I think that my pitch is going to be that they should create an OCR using ChatGPT to read cursive.
Yeah, let's just mix all these things together. What could go wrong?
I don't see how this is a problem.
Hold on, I'm gonna check ChatGPT right now. Chat. Log in. That way I can use all the fancy features. Come on.
What are you checking? I realize. What are you checking?
Come on, work. Here we go.
Master.
Tell me a story and write it in cursive. Let's see what chat says. I can draft you a story, but I can't directly render it into cursive text. Blasphemy. All right, well, it's good to know.
That bombshell, I'm going to call this council meeting adjourned. Thanks for listening. We record this podcast live on YouTube on Tuesday nights. If you like what you want to check out all past episodes, you can go to CouncilCast.org or find the audio files on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. If you have a topic you would like the council's decision on, you can email us at IDon'tCare@CouncilCast.org. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
God damn it. Fucking.
You know that soap star Eva Longoria? Does that sound familiar? I just read today that she spent $6 million of her own money to make sure that John Wick got completed so that it could be in the theaters, the original John Wick.
Wow.
It was going to tank and it was going to go under, and she
I did not know that. Was she a producer originally?
I don't know. That's what I don't know. You know, and of course it was the internet, so I'm sure 100% of it was accurate.
I'm curious though, like why would it be like? It's not like Keanu doesn't have plenty of money to bankroll.
It wasn't.
He probably already did bankroll.
Someone put in some money, and she put the money in.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say she's a huge John Wick fan.